Hey guys, what's going on? Pride London here. You guys know what to do. As always, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. My preview for the Chelsea-Man United game is going to be at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around to watch that. And we've got some good news in this one as well, so let's get into it. So the first story, Tammy Abraham makes shock Chelsea transfer decision and it could interest Wolves. Now the Wolves bit is just because I think they're looking at a striker. But Chelsea's Tammy Abraham, Chelsea's England striker, has turned down the opportunity, interestingly, of talks to extend his contract. The striker seems to be in no hurry to get a pay rise unusually, given that he is relatively lowly paid regarding other players in the team. This is basically because, it says down here, he activated by appearances and goals an extra year in his current 5-year deal just in the last 7 days, but since the restart has not featured as the first choice for Lampard. With the signing of Timo Werner, he's unsure exactly of his game time and is indeed his position in the pecking order of Chelsea next season. Abraham wants to see first of all where he stands. After all, he started the season as the undisputed #1 choice to play up front, but that's changed in the last few weeks. So basically he's concerned, am I actually the #1 striker anymore? Because Giroud is starting a lot of games, and in all fairness, Giroud is scoring a lot of goals. I'm sure Tammy can see that, you know, you can understand why he's not starting, because he's not scoring as much as Giroud is. And he's apparently not interested in talking about an extension as it stands. We've still got time, you know, with his contract, so there's no push for us to sign him. It's not like he's running out like this summer or something, but it's interesting to see that, you know, he wants assurances of his play time when realistically coming off the bench and having the minutes he's had, he's not performed very well. So it makes sense on both parties, you know, he should be looking for his best interests and stuff like that. But with Giroud staying at the club, Timo Werner coming in, Tammy Abraham really needs to improve if he wants to even like be offered a new contract to be especially a starting striker, because as it stands, Timo Werner is definitely going to be maybe even behind Giroud at this point. We need Timo Werner and Giroud are probably going to be fighting for that starting spot, and Tammy's the third choice as it stands because Tammy is not in form at the moment. And for a while he hasn't been, you know, it's not like it's just since the restart. Before that he wasn't great either, so it's iffy. We'll see how it goes. I don't think it's, you know, a major story like as if he's saying, you know what, nah, I want to leave. It's just both sides of the party, you know, looking out for their best interests. Then the next piece of news is about our centre-backs. Chelsea are stalling on new contract offers for both Rudiger Christensen and Antonio Rudiger as they consider a move for a new centre-back. So basically, as it stands, it says here, Chelsea are increasingly considering signing a central defender. Frank Lampard admires West Ham's Declan Rice, but the Hammers aren't open to selling their key asset unless relegation to the Championship forces them to reassess the situation. So basically, if we want to get Declan Rice, we're probably not going to be giving one of these two a contract offer. And, you know, that's a problem for them. But realistically, I think we can do better. I think Declan Rice would be a good signing for us. So it's, you know, ideally we need West Ham to get relegated if we want to pay a reasonable amount for Declan Rice. You know, they're going to want to keep hold of him, but if they get relegated, then they are not going to be able to have much of a say in whether he stays or whether he goes, because he's definitely at least a Premier League level player. I think he could go on to be like a you know, worldwide, like, well-renowned player if he, you know, comes to a club like Chelsea, builds himself up to be, you know, solid as a centre-back or a DM. You could see him getting an even bigger move after Chelsea if we look to sell him. So interesting that we are not looking at giving Christensen and Antonio Rudiger contracts. It's good because obviously this season defense has been a problem for us, and these two have had their moments of, you know, worrying moments. And it's good to see that Zuma isn't on this list, as it seems. It seems Zuma is probably going to be staying, if this is to be believed. It is from Nizar Kinsella, who is fairly reliable when it comes to Chelsea news. So it looks reliable. Zuma may be staying, Tomori staying, and then one of these two may be leaving and Declan Rice coming in. And sticking with the defensive sort of section of our team, as per Goal, Chelsea are still interested in signing Nicolas Tagliafico from Ajax, Chilwell being priced out of a move as it stands. So it looks like, you know, Chelsea are moving away from Chilwell. The price is just going to be a problem because Leicester don't want to sell him, so they're saying, okay, if you're going to try and force us to, then you're going to have to offer us a fat bag of cash. And it doesn't look like Chelsea are going to do it. They're going to be wiser and go for Nicolas Tagliafico from Ajax, who's going to be, I think, around 22 million, I want to say, is the fee I've heard mentioned quite a bit, which will be very good, because I think Tagliafico will be a great option for us, and when we're playing in a back four, he'll be solid for us. So that's a good bit of news there in terms of the whole Chilwell saga. And then the final bit of news today, he is interested in Chelsea, very interested actually. He really wants to push himself, and Leverkusen are pretty surprised at how focused he is on finding a new club. And that was Dean Jones on Kai Havertz. So that is some good news for us, guys. He is interested in Chelsea, which is huge, very interested. And then Leverkusen are surprised at how much he's looking to find a new club. So great news for us, because it looks like not only is he like, yeah, I think I'm going to want to leave this season, guys, it's to Chelsea, and he seems very interested. So that is great news. I'm happy to hear it. Again, we're going to have to wait for more developments. I think it could be another month or so until we see maybe, talks of him actually coming to join us, like, we're in advanced contract talks and stuff like that. But I'll keep you guys up to date with that one. So my match review for Chelsea 3, Manchester United 1. Can you tell I'm happy, guys? I am over the moon with that performance. 10 out of 10 performance from everyone on that pitch for me, on the Chelsea side at least. It definitely wasn't from Man United's point of view. Frank Lampard as well deserves a lot of credit. I did predict this formation in my sort of like preview to the game. I thought it would work, and it definitely did. They tried to sort of match us with a similar sort of formation, but it didn't work at all for them. They went for a 5 at the back as well. They couldn't do it. And it shows how not adaptable this Man United team is. They're very good at what they do with the personnel that are in that starting team, but when it comes to, changing it up a bit because you're facing a tougher opposition, or having to change personnel and formation, they couldn't do it. They couldn't handle it at all. And they didn't have a weak team out by any means as well. And, they brought on, their Greenwood, their Martial and such, and they still were just unable to get through us. Very stupid of Callum to give away that penalty, which it let them get a goal. I'm annoyed about it, but in the end I don't really care, because we're through to the next round. But very stupid of Callum to do that. I thought he was going to make up for it at the end with a goal as well, but he did not. But Giroud getting a goal in the first half, which was absolutely essential for us. I think that was perfect from Giroud. Like, man of the match performance for me, absolutely. Mason Mount getting 46 minutes in, and the Harry Maguire own goal. I thought Rudiger had scored it, but at one point you see him going to our teammates, and yeah, he didn't score it. Harry Maguire, the £80 million defender, scores an own goal to pretty much seal the deal for Chelsea at that point. And lovely move from like Mason Mount down to Alonso on the wing, crossed in. I don't know what Rudiger was doing there, but he was there and forced a mistake from Maguire. So moving through the pitch, Caballero in goal was strong. The only area I'd say we were slightly weak was in crosses and corners. They did have maybe like 2 headers in the box that were just pretty much unmarked, just free headers. And it's concerning that we're still allowing that to happen, but they didn't capitalise on it today. They just weren't good enough. But Caballero, all in all, good rating. 6.6 seems really harsh for him. Azpilicueta with an assist, giving a 7.4. That's solid. Zuma 6.5. Didn't have much to do, but what he did do right, he did insanely well. It was just doing the basics right, controlling the game. Same for Rudiger, but good on getting in that goal scoring position to get the goal as well. The wing-backs, Reece James had an absolutely phenomenal game. Seems to see that this formation might suit, we might have another Alonso on our hands here, in that Reece James defensively in a back four, a little bit iffy, but when it comes to a back 5 system, he can absolutely thrive, and the same for Alonso. He absolutely thrived in this game, and we knew he would, playing at left wing back, so it makes sense. But he had a great game. The crosses were pretty good all round. Jorginho and Kovacic controlled that midfield. We've seen that partnership before, and it definitely worked today. So I'm glad Frank went with it, and I think he did a good job. I didn't predict that those two would start together, but it definitely worked. Willian again had so much energy in the tank. It's insane to think this guy is like over 30. He's proven that he maybe does deserve a contract. I know a lot of people split on this, does he stay, does he go sort of scenario, but he's proven a reason to keep him on board, and maybe it is the fact that, he's fighting for a contract basically at this point, so he's performing better. You know, when he's got his contract, he knows he's there for 3 years. He performs a little more, you know, lackluster. He's not, you know, running back like he was. He was all over the pitch today. Giroud, man of the match for me, as I said, 8.1 rating and got a goal. Absolutely outstanding performance. Like, he is our main guy at the moment. He won 6 aerials in this game, 3 shots, just fantastic game from him all round, and that goal was crucial. Mason Mount getting a goal. The shot wasn't, you know, the most outstanding shot in the world, but he did, you know, hit it hard, hit it low, and forced David De Gea to make a very big mistake. And David De Gea, by the way, had an awful game. I don't know if they're going to be sticking with De Gea for much longer, because he is proving a liability in this team at the moment. Very good on Mace. His pressing again was just beautiful to see. I'm very much okay with seeing Mason playing, you know, at the left wing role. Of course, Pulisic is definitely who starts there for me. But him being further up the pitch and being able to initiate the press really does work. And I think we're going to see some great stuff from Mace in the future. Let's go over the overall ratings and such then as well. 6.88 overall for Chelsea. I think that is quite flattering to Man United. Saying that, their 6.15 rating in the top left is flattering to Man United, because they deserved a stinker and we deserved a much higher rating than that. We had 13 shots to their 7. Possession was pretty much even across the game. Pass success as well, 84 to 83%. We dribbled a lot more than them. 14 dribbles to their 7, 13 aerials, 1 to their 11. 14 tackles to their 8, that was key. We were tackling really well. Corners are even, and then dispossessed, we were dispossessed a bit less than them because we were finding them very well, surprisingly. But onto the substitutes. Loftus-Cheek came on, didn't really have much to do. He was just there to see out the game and let it sort of, you know, die out. So good game, I guess. Callum Hudson-Odoi, as I said, disappointed in giving away that penalty. Like, if that was earlier on in the game, say he got brought on in the 65th minute or something like that, gives away a pen, he gives them a lot of, you know, time and possibility to come back into this game. So stupid from him. Going forward, he looked okay. He was linking up with Tammy quite well, so that was quite nice to see, but definitely needs to improve if he's going to be starting in this team. Tammy Abraham came on. I'd say he did alright. Held the ball up fairly well and drove forward quite well, but not much to do in the time he was given. Definitely could have had a chance had Callum passed it to him at one point, but nothing major. And then it was nice to see Pedro come on. That might be the last we see of him playing this season. And it was good to see him come on and get his appearance and, you know, see him off, because that might be the last we see of Pedro, and thank you for his service and stuff. And he did track back once or twice to make some essential blocks at one point. But yeah, all in all, very strong performance from the boys. I'm so happy. This is huge, you know, because we're facing Arsenal in the final, which are a very beatable team. We beat them 4-1 in our last final with them in the Europa League, so more of the same if you ask me. So very strong possibility we're going to get a trophy for Frank Lampard in his first season at Chelsea, which is huge. But this is huge going on to Liverpool as well. The form, you know, I think Liverpool were maybe 9th most informed in the league. Man United was 2nd, we were 3rd. So now, you know, we've got this confidence, this form going into the Liverpool game, who are not really at it since the restart. I think we've made a strong case for playing this formation and a similar personnel in that game against Liverpool, because this worked really, really well. So going to be an interesting one. We'll see how it goes, but all in all, absolutely chuffed. And then on to Wolves. We could even play it in that game as well, because Wolves are a dangerous team to come against. So very, very happy with the result. Huge result. We can finally banter Man United fans back about, you know, beat you 3 times this season. So there we go. That was such a great game. I'm so chuffed. Thanks to Chelsea, Frank Lampard, all the players. Huge performance. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Let me know what you thought of this game down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.